Day 3 of USASOC Best Squad, and we are coming to you live from where a soldier feels most at home, right? The woods.
That's right, the field. I love sleeping in the dirt. I mean, come on.
Who doesn't? So we are wrapping up day 3 of competition, and it has been a long day for these guys. They just finished up their stake lanes, being tested on tasks that soldiers know best.
Yep, tactical combat, medical stuff, making sure they get in place a claymore, weapon systems, a medical lane where they can, tend to a casualty and drag a body if they need to. All those things to test your basic soldiering skills while you're in combat. And
let's take a look at some of that video so you can see exactly what they were being tested on. Now, that was after they had quite the long day during their land navigation course, but they were out here, each squad, 8 squads, 40 different soldiers from across the USASOC enterprise being tested, as you said, a med lane, a claymore lane, a communications lane, and finally they were assembling, disassembling M240s and M249s.
Correct. And a shiver went down my spine when you said land navigation. As a lieutenant,
it's not our strong suit.
Not our strong suit.
Insert LT getting lost jokes right here.
We have to address it.
Never heard that one before.
True, yeah, right. No, and land navigation started this morning at, I think it was 0300.
That's right.
They got blown out of where they were bedded down by an artificial, or an arty sim. Everyone knows that long whistle. Blew them out. They had to go to their points, and it was an over 18-kilometer movement. Star course. So you couldn't do it out of order. You had to go from one point to the next, and then end up back here. And after that long movement, they were tired, they were wet, they were going through creeks, and it was a little misty and rainy like it is right now. And they had to still be able to perform under that stress and tiredness for all these lanes.
But isn't it that old ode that we always like to refer to? If it ain't raining, we ain't training right here in the Army. So let's take a look back right now on that land navigation test that our soldiers went through earlier today. Okay, so if this is your first day joining us, we've been live here on YouTube for 3 days, but if you're just getting caught up, this is USASOC Best Squad 2025. We have 8 teams from across the U.S. Army Special Operations Enterprise competing for that coveted title.
Yeah, we have 75th Ranger Regiment, we have 95th Civil Affairs Brigade, 160th, 1st, 3rd, and 7th Special Forces Group. John F. Kennedy's Special, am I forgetting?
160th, we've got SWIC, I think you already said that, but...
I learned very quickly to not make lists live, but I still do it.
We all still do it, that's okay. Our viewers are probably used to seeing it by now. But over the last 3 years, this is as long as the competition has been in existence across the Army, there has been one team that has reigned the competition, and that is the 75th Ranger Regiment. They have owned the title every single year. In fact, the winner of this competition each year goes on to represent USASOC at the Big Armies competition, which will actually be held here at Fort Bragg in October. Now, the last 2 out of 3 years, Ranger Regiment has won the whole thing, but the last year they did not win, and they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They did admit that live, so they're coming back for vengeance. But let's take a look right now on those teams so we can introduce you to who they are.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
First Special Forces Group. 3rd Special Forces Group. 7th Special Forces Group. 8th Psychological Operations Group, 95th Civil Affairs Brigade, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School, 75th Ranger Regiment.
So obviously lots of teams competing with lots of skills, and it could be anyone's game. All these teams have trained for months preparing for this, especially knowing that they could go on to the bigger competition with Big Army, starting here at Fort Bragg, and then actually moving on to Washington, D.C. to wrap up that competition. That's in October. Who knows what will happen? All these teams are skilled, but they have been pushing themselves to the limit. And it's been so motivating for me to watch them do what they do. And I kind of wish I was out here with them.
This is not an individual competition.
Not at
That's
all.
what we keep hearing over and over again from these teams. A lot of them feel really lucky to be able to represent their unit. There's a lot of team pride out here, but we want to hear from you in the comments who you think is going to take the cake, who is going to win that coveted title of USASOC Best Squad. That will be crowned on Friday at 10 a.m. Not long after that, we will be bringing it to you live. So comment now, tell us who you think is going to win. Maybe it's the favorite, the 75th, but maybe there's a sleeper in there. You've got 1st Special Forces Group, 3rd, 7th, 160th. Who knows?
Yeah, we do have a record number of Green Berets competing this year. So there's there's always that classic Green Beret Ranger rivalry. It's fun to watch.
It sure is. Now, as we keep saying, this is not the first day of competition. These guys are smoked. They've been through a lot this week, but that's what they signed up for. And that's important to note as well, that all of these competitors, they weren't told to do this. They weren't, as we say in the Army, voluntold that you will represent your unit. No, they wanted to do that. And that's representative of a special operations soldiers. All of these soldiers volunteer to go above and beyond to represent the ARSOF community and their unit specifically. So they had a long day today, but this wasn't the first day of it, right?
No, absolutely. We should throw back to day one and look at how grueling that first day was when they started with an Army fitness test and moved into the pool event for a lot of swimming relay, and that's a smoker by itself, and then obstacle course after that. So let's take a look at day one.
This is about the squad. It's about the non-commissioned officer and the soldiers coming together as a team, using everybody's strengths and weaknesses to get them through all of these events and really figure out who is the best squad across USASOC.
I was just trying to get through everything as quickly as possible, help my squad get through everything as quickly as possible as well.
I've watched all of us push ourselves. They've yelled at me to move the pace a little faster. I've yelled back a little bit nicely. They got a little mean with me, which I love. That builds that camaraderie.
Coming out here and putting one foot in front of the other, doing the things they know how to do and not quitting. Just keep moving forward.
I hopped in the water today knowing that I'm not the best swimmer, and I gave it my all out there. And then with the obstacle course, I would have done as good as I did without my team.
You know, I've already seen amazing things here on day one as we've watched the competitors, some of who struggle a little bit with some of the events. You know, we had a pool event earlier. Not everybody's a great swimmer, but I saw every one of them get through the event by just doing it one step at a time.
For special situations, the United States Army has developed the Special Operations Forces.
You're reaching deep inside you, go for things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Think all that you can. You can do it in the Army.
Your Army recruiter can tell you how to qualify. Call this number toll-free.
The incredible thing about the U.S. Army is that there are so many different jobs you can do. And this, what you just saw, that recruiting commercial is a perfect example of that. In our USASOC public affairs shop, our guys had a lot of fun putting together something like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go back to the 80s, 90s, 70s, all the awesome Army commercials that existed and how, you know, they really show that camaraderie and that fun, creative spirit. And I mean, you can tell in the Army recruiting ads we have nowadays that they brought back the Be All You Can Be jingle, and we thought about making something that honors that and pays homage to yesteryear.
What's really incredible about the Army, about special operations, are the soldier story. Everyone has a different why on why they put on this uniform. And it's amazing when you start talking to soldiers. That's one of CSM Joanne Nauman's favorite parts of her job as the senior enlisted leader of USASOC, she says, is talking to soldiers, getting to hear their why, because they have volunteered multiple times. Not only did they raise their right hand to join the Army, but they volunteered to be in USASOC. And those stories are absolutely everywhere.
Well, that's one thing I really appreciate about being here at USASOC. The enterprise is all about people. It's people driven. I mean, you can't have a successful mission without having people who, you know, leadership cares about. And we tell those stories because they're important, but also it helps bring about a sense of belonging. There's a lot of people who join the Army because they came from different walks of life, and it's kind of a second family for me.
Humans are more important than hardware.
Absolutely.
Is soft truth number one. And I want to introduce you to Sergeant First Class Zachariah Guy. His story is unbelievable. And when I first heard of it, I knew I had to tell this story. Our team worked hard to put his story together. So without further ado, I don't want to ruin it for you. Here's Sergeant Guy's story.
I'm Sergeant First Class Zachariah Guy. 23 years ago, I came to the United States as a refugee. Now, I'm a Green Beret.
They were called the Lost Boys because they were between 5 and 11 when their Christian villages in southern Sudan were attacked.
My life before I came to the United States was a little bit different.
Thousands of them started walking across East Africa.
Due to the war that happened in Sudan, separated me from my family. We were not at home. We were living in refugee to refugee camp. Our Combat refugee camp, 1994. Will I eat? Will I have something to drink? Where I would be sleeping? It's tough, especially for kids that didn't have parents.
On this day, 90 learned they'd be going to America.
In Illinois. Welcome to the life, you know, so we have to figure out responsibility to pay the bills. They find us a job at UPS, and then we have to go to school in the morning, we have to pay our bills, and then go to work in the afternoon.
This is just a uniform, but to me, it's something more.
When did you see the Army and think, maybe this is something I want to do?
Through the TV.
That's the pride of being a soldier in the U.S. Army.
There's always an ad. They'd go Army. I could go in as a U.S. permanent resident, and then after I finished, I became a citizen. It's a way for me to give thanks to the people of the United States because they allowed us to come here. Being a Green Beret, it gave me opportunities. I went to different places that, you know, I never expect to be. You know, it's a job that took me different around the world, interact with the different people, different countries, learn from them, and they learn from me.
That boy have ever imagined he would be a U.S. Army Green Beret?
If you asked me years ago, I would say like, no, ma'am, because I didn't even know where my life would be. But I'm actually happy that I'm here.
A Sudanese refugee to a U.S. Army Green Beret. I don't think you can sum up that story anywhere else than saying he's truly remarkable. He has lived his American dream to the fullest. But that's what we're telling you. There are so many stories like that within our ranks. Incredible soldiers, incredible people who have different whys to why they put on this uniform.
It really is a motivating story and an inspiring story because, I mean, man, the American dream is real, and the Army makes that happen for so many. It's so cool.
This is our perfect plug for recruiting. If you are watching now and you are thinking, hey, maybe I could do that. Maybe I have some interest in the Army, in special operations. We want to hear from you. Comment below and we can get a special operations recruiting battalion recruiter to reach out directly. If you have any questions, put those as well and we'll get those answered for you.
I will say too that, you hear the word special operations and sometimes there's a hesitancy because you think, oh, that I can't do that. That's way too tough for me. Always take that first step. Even if you try and fail, that builds character and it shows. Try again. Special operations is looking for people who are willing to make that effort. And hey, what's better place to work at than USASOC?
Do you want to be the person that says in 10 years, I had that idea, but I didn't go for it? I'd say no. Right.
Exactly.
That's why I went to basic training at 31. I'm just saying it wasn't fun, but I didn't want to regret not doing it.
Well, I went to basic training during COVID and oh my goodness.
Super fun in a mask, right? Yes. Okay, so we've walked you through a little bit of what this competition is all about. It's about the soldiers. It is about meeting and exceeding the standard and figuring out who is the best in USASOC and will represent our command at the Big Army competition.
That's right, and a big part of this competition was actually at yesterday's Day 2 event, which was Range Day. My favorite day.
Your favorite day as an infantry officer.
Listen, these soldiers have a job to do, and one of the jobs is to be accurate and be able to move, maneuver, and shoot during combat situations. Obviously, we hope that never comes to fruition, but when it does, they need to be able to operate under stress, and that's what yesterday was all about, a stress shoot, making them move heavy objects, run around in full kit, and shoot accurately, and get graded on that. So let's take a look back at Day 2 and see what they went through.
It's a good day because where are we?
Oh, we're at my favorite place. We're at the range. We're at Range 37 here at Fort Bragg.
Whether you came in through a professional and formalized assessment selection or you matriculated in and just were assigned to Special Operations Forces, I think the culture is selection's an ongoing event.
Cut!
I think it's important to continuously test ourselves. If you get too comfortable doing what you've always done, then you become stagnant. And we need to keep that edge sharp. Competition is one of those things that breeds excellence.
Go.
The Green Beret, a quiet professional, the only soldier in the Army trained in the art of unconventional warfare, is made of grit, resiliency, physical strength, and mental toughness. It is because of these traits that I have seen men survive wounds in combat that would have killed a lesser man. The X-ray program is a direct path to U.S. Special Forces training. The first step is to attend assessment and selection, and we have a prep course to get you ready. Whether you're just getting out of high school, going into college, just graduating college, and you're looking for something with a higher purpose, the Green Beret is a mark of distinction and a badge of courage in the fight for freedom. Be part of that legacy.
Okay, so I know we've talked to a few of you before, but if you are watching this stream thinking that you may have what it takes to earn and wear the prestigious Green Beret, let's hear from you. We want to get you in touch with a recruiter who can tell you more about the 18 X-ray program. I will tell you, there are few things. I've been a TV news reporter for 12 plus years. I've been around the world. I've seen a lot of crazy things. There are few more incredible sights to see.
Yeah, everyone I've talked to has always said it's more mental than it is physical, but physical is still important. But it really brings out, the best of you, overcoming that difficult space that you're in, pushing through your comfort zone and giving it your all. But also a big part of selection is how you work as a team. It's not an individual event. They're seeing how you can work with other people.
Your mind is going to quit, as they say, before your body will. And that was on display earlier this week. Day one was a tough one. They were tested on multiple events in the same day, and it started bright and early with the AFT.
Yeah, the Army Fitness Test, formerly the Army Combat Fitness Test, the ACFT. They changed it to the AFT, and it is what all soldiers across the Army take to measure their physical fitness and make sure they're effective in their positions and can do the task at hand for a soldier. One thing about the AFT, though, is it did remove the standing power throw, the ball throw.
I'm not complaining about that. At 5'2", I don't hate that the ball throw is no more.
It's the one event that I could never max, and I agree. However, I do miss the leg tuck as well.
I'm not going to say I yearn for the leg tuck, but sure, I would have taken the leg tuck any day over the standing power throw. Now, I will tell you, we had at least one team, the entire team in the competition on Monday, max the AFT, which is pretty good for their rankings. I'm not going to tell you who that is, though. And we know we've gotten a few questions about the standings. We're keeping that quiet until reveal day on Friday.
Yes, and obviously it's anyone's game right now. We've seen some of the scores, we've seen some of the times for different things, but it's anyone's game. And we're only on day 3. We have 2 more days of all this awesome stuff. But hey, they are pushing themselves to the limit and doing what they can. But it all started with the AFT and just basic physical fitness. So let's take a look back at the AFT on day 1 and say goodbye to an old friend, the standing power throw.
Yeah, we're just going to give our best. Our whole team's going to give the best. We've prepped for this, and all we can do is put our best foot forward every day. So that's what we plan on doing.
Us as graders, we're holding the standard, right? We want to make sure that we're holding that standard for the regiment, and really focused on getting these guys to really push themselves.
This is people who show up to do extra. They volunteered to join the Army, they volunteered to serve in SOF, and they volunteered to come out here, put it all on the line, and compete to represent USASOC. Prove me wrong, get 59.
What?
Come on, you got it, you got it. You got it, keep going.
You got it, keep going.
You got it, you got 4 more. You got it easy. All the different backgrounds that we've got out here, all the different MOSs we've got out here, right? You know, you think of RSOF as the RSOF MOSs, but most of these folks are not. Most of these folks come from our enabler populations. We've got logisticians out here, we've got HR professionals out here, we've got mechanics out here, we've got crew chiefs from the 160th, and we've got all different people out here who are all coming together to do this. These are people who show up to win.
The standing power throw is the second event. The event is a test of explosive power and coordination in the legs and arms.
Soldiers, let's practice our standing power throw. I've got a little over 13 meters set up, cone there, a couple cones in the back. We're going to go over some tips and tricks to help us.
Tips to improve the standing power throw. The first exercise is the kettlebell swing. So this works the mobility in the arms and the shoulder strength. Then we have the goblet squat. This works the power in the legs, which is the power.
The standing power throw is the second event of the Army Combat Fitness Test. The standing power throw measures upper and lower body explosive power, total body flexibility.
We have to say thank you to the standing power throw for your efforts, and you will not be missed.
Absolutely not, from this 5'2" soldier especially.
I do want to take a moment and say a shout out to our command team. Lieutenant General Jonathan Braga and Command Sergeant Major Joanne Nauman, they have been fantastic supporters of us. Also Chief Warrant Officer Steve Finney. Everyone forgets we have a Chief Warrant 5 at the command team, and he's awesome.
Unicorns, CW5s they are.
Absolutely. Chief
Army Special Operations story, and really telling the world and the Army more about what they say in the community, the quiet professionals. General Braga often preaches it's okay to be a quiet professional, but don't be a silent professional. There are so many people, as you've seen throughout this show, in our ranks who are doing incredible work. They come from amazing backgrounds, and the fact that we get to tell their stories as a part of the USASOC Public Affairs Shop, I feel pretty lucky to be in that spot.
It's a massive honor and privilege. On top of that, they also are so they find it very important to tell other people's stories as well, including Gold Star families. And I really encourage everyone to go look at our Instagram page or our YouTube page and find some of those stories of Gold Star families, other soldiers, and see their lives live on after their heroic sacrifice. But I really commend this command team for giving us the latitude to share stories and keep doing what we're doing.
We are lucky. And I'll also say, we don't have video of this right now, but we might include this in another show. You can head to Twitter and dig and you can find it. So great equalizer. And a few of the teams weren't quite prepared for how much that event was going to smoke them. Well, after the teams wrapped up, Lieutenant General John Braga, a 3-star general, and our CSM Nauman, they both jumped in the pool and they got after it. They did the same competition that our soldiers did. And if that's not leading by example, I don't know what is.
It's really motivating too, because you never think of like a 3-star general or command sergeant major of a large headquarter unit to be down there with the guys doing the thing. And there they are. Almost every event that we've been to, we're either shoving a camera in their face or we're shaking their hand. And I really appreciate that.
Telling the story of our Army Special Operations soldiers is what we're trying to do with this live stream throughout the 2025 USASOC Best Squad competition. Day 3 is complete, but they're still not completely done.
That's right. We have a lot more to go, and we can't wait to come back and show you the results on Friday when they announce the winner and the scores for all of these competitors. Like I said, it's anyone's game. We have 8 teams of highly skilled and qualified soldiers doing some awesome work.
We will be back later this week. If you have any questions about the RSOF community, about how you could join our ranks, drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you soon.